Hey, what's up guys? I am Hunter StarCraft, and today's the launch date for D3 console. I thought it would be an excellent time to upload a video, especially because I've been able to play a ton of this D3 console over the past couple of days. So I've got some endgame impressions I want to share with you guys. So here I am in Inferno, Act 3, completely self-found, solo. This is absolutely not something you would have been able to do on the PC version at all. If you took the same amount of time playing solo self-found on PC, you know, you would be but a fraction as far into the game as this barb is. Largely that's because of the drop rates. On console, it's not Loot 2.0 yet, but there have been some major changes to the drops. So many legendaries drop. I mean, I can just show you really quickly. Again, completely self-found. I've already found a Mempo, which is the best helmet in the game. IK armor, which is the best armor in the game. And then you've got weapons that do so much more damage than what's available on the PC. This Bone Shatter Maul, which is normally a lower level Maul, it scales up to level 60, as do all the legendaries in console, which is really cool because when you're farming Inferno, you don't just have the same handful of legendaries dropping all the time. You've got every legendary dropping, and each legendary is rolling stats at the monster level of 60, which is the max, of course. So you get so many sick weapons. I've found so many weapons, you know, through the leveling process. It wouldn't actually be uncommon to find one weapon and have it double your damage. And when you have a reward system like that in place, it really does make the leveling experience more enjoyable. I had great fun playing through. I'll just show you what's going on in the stash here. So here's some of the weapons I was mentioning earlier. Most of these are lower level ones, but just seeing how many unique weapons I've found. These Leoric Gauntlets are actually exclusive to the PlayStation version. I would recommend the PS3 version over the 360 one. You get these Leoric Gauntlets, you get Drake's Amulet, which you'll outgrow that pretty quickly when you're like in the teens for levels. You also get Leah's Ring, which is this one here. Again, a level 1 item. It's good to put that on for a new character. It makes it a bit easier. The ring and the amulet are kind of not useful in the long term, but something like this shoulder piece here, the Hero's Journey, another PS3 exclusive one, it's got 12% move speed. I had never heard of 12% move speed on a shoulder, and it helps you reach that level cap, not the level cap, rather the move speed cap, much faster. I've got other items that have already done it for me, but when you're at a very low level, having 12% move speed on shoulders is just about the best thing you could ask for. So for these reasons, again, I'm recommending the PS3 version. There is, of course, the Infernal Helm. That's the one item that actually requires a code to unlock. They say you got to pre-order, but on PS3 you don't have to pre-order. The code's just in the box. You get this helm, and it's good because it's got the 25% bonus experience. So I actually wore this helmet till I was in the late 50s for levels. The only exception would be for like harder boss fights where, you know, just swap on a different helmet. Alright, so I mean, you see the menu system, quite different. I'm wondering what other impressions I should share with you guys. Really, the focus should be on the loot. I need to just stress that even more. I've talked about the legendaries and how those rolls scale up to your monster level, which adds so much diversity, which is really nice. Rare items have been improved a lot. In the PC version, almost every rare you get is trash, really. And same thing goes for legendaries, you know, at this late stage of the PC version. But on console, when you roll rare items, you often get ones with very good stats. Like if you had a shoulders, for example, it's not uncommon to get shoulders that have strength, vitality, all resistance and armor, for example. If you wanted to get those 4 stats on a shoulder piece on the PC, it would be much more rare. So, no pun intended, of course. So that just makes it more rewarding when you're picking up all this loot. Makes leveling more fun. But the one sort of flaw I sort of want to identify in the leveling process is with the difficulties. The end game goal for a Diablo player like myself is to basically make the strongest character possible as fast as possible, and the way to do that is to get to Inferno as fast as you can. And well, the best way to do that is to play through normal, Nightmare, and Hell on easy difficulty. You still get great loot. You could make the argument that loot is even better on easy, because, I mean, there may be slightly less dropped, like the drop rates of legendaries may be lower on easy than on hard, but your kill speed is way higher, so you can still argue that loot is better, you progress faster, and you arrive at your ultimate goal, Infernal farming, sooner. And then, of course, we need to basically determine how long Infernal farming is even going to last. At this point, I can farm Infernal Master Level 3, so I think that's about the equivalent of like Monster Power 6. And to be farming Monster Power 6 after just a couple days of solo self-found is some really fast progression. And I mean, you can see it with the character stats as well. Like, again, on the PC version, you're never going to get, you know, like over 100,000 damage and 56,000 life just playing solo self-found for a couple days. So I'm just highlighting this as a rewarding experience so far. I don't know if the end game longevity is going to be comparable to that of the PC, though. Like, it took me so long on PC to finally be able to farm Monster Power 10, and I'm expecting that it's not going to take very long at all in comparison on this console version. So if you're a PC player and completely faithful to the PC and you've enjoyed it the whole time, you know, maybe the console version isn't for you because you might not get as much playtime out of it. But if you played the PC version and maybe put it down for a bit, I definitely think the console version could recapture your attention. And then if you're new to the franchise, the console version would definitely be a good place to start. Alright, because this is an endgame impressions video, I definitely want to talk about the endgame crafting as well. I have farmed some of the strength recipes that became available in a patch earlier this year. So if I am at the smith here, you can go over to the bracers, for example, razor spikes of strength. And the thing that I want to highlight here is that there is a complete overabundance of demonic essence. You can see I've got 45 demonic essence and it costs 2 to make a razor spikes of strength. So if I wanted to spend all my demonic essence on razor spikes of strength, I could make 12, or no, that's not correct, 22. I have enough demonic essence to make 22. Well, how much exquisite essence do I need? 21 multiplied by 30 to use up all my demonic essence on razor spikes of strength. Well, by the time you get hundreds and hundreds of exquisite essence that you need, you're going to have piles more demonic essence. You're never going to be able to spend the demonic essence just crafting bracers. Even if you start crafting shoulders, even gloves, which I don't have the strength version, but you can see the crafting recipe for this one. No matter what you're crafting, at these numbers, given the required materials for these items, you will always have an extreme overabundance of demonic essence. So unless it's patched to tweak the vendor recipes, you know, for example, decreasing the amount of exquisite essence you need, unless it's tweaked, you're always going to have just mountains of demonic essence. It seems like they just, I mean, they didn't transfer the vendor recipes verbatim from the PC, but I don't think they tweaked them enough. And the reasoning is regarding the drop rates as well on consoles. They wanted to include, you know, fewer drops, fewer rares, fewer magicals, but have them be higher quality. Well, the drop rates for demonic essence hasn't changed. The drop rates for items has gone down severely, and the salvage mechanic hasn't changed either. I'll just add on the end here, one of the most important things, you can actually roll now. It's not Ocarina of Time, rolling is not actually faster than running, but rolling definitely has utility. The highlights for me would be the fact that rolling can actually break Jailer. That's, you know, pretty powerful. It doesn't seem like it's working as intended, because you get jailed, you roll out of it, and then the jailer icon stays with you, but you've already, you know, dissipated that jailer effect. The same thing goes for the nightmarish affects on champion monsters. You get hit by a monster, it goes nightmare, you're moving away, and then one roll cancels that nightmare. So it's definitely got some uses in that regard. It actually deals 1 damage as well, so you can, you know, bust through doors and stuff using roll. And navigate, you know, through mobs where normally you'd be colliding with mobs. Sometimes you can roll and move anyway, get in a better position for me to, you know, rend, roll, and do another rend, you know, in my case as a barb. Good utility in combat with the rolls. And then, of course, just the gameplay overall. There's no lag. There is a latency of 0 milliseconds, which is, you know, far and away superior from what you get on the PC. Like, I always experience over 100 milliseconds, and then if you're, you know, at some of the corners of the globe, you've got over 200 milliseconds. So being able to play an offline game where the combat is crisp and responsive because of no lag is really enjoyable, you know, for someone coming from PC.